Welcome, welcome, welcome back to another episode of Cerebral Pundits. I am your co-host, Casey Bluford, joined by my co-host, Avita Miller. Avita, it is
Yeah,
Christmas time of the year. Holiday funds, holiday cheers. How are you doing today?
I am good. I can hardly believe it's already Christmas Eve. But I got my
Um,
little Christmas tree in my name. Get in the spirit.
awesome,
I've got
Okay,
a couple things to
did you
wrap.
buy a tree or do you go artificial?
I have an artificial tree.
Yeah, same here, same here. It just makes it easier. And the same
Yeah.
artificial one. I think we're about 5 to 7 years now with this one, so we're probably due for an
Okay.
upgrade, but it just keeps working, so we just keep rolling with it.
Yeah. I have some family that does the real tree still, but I've always just artificial makes sense. I'm like,
It
let's
was funny. We were driving home from the store this morning, and Thanksgiving, I think, as I mentioned before, is my favorite holiday, but just it
hmm
just kicks off the whole holiday season, right?
hmm
So I'm driving back, just thinking, damn, Christmas is tomorrow. Like this, I feel like time has just been flying for one, and
Yeah.
two, I kind of got a little sad. Kind of got a little sad because it's funny because like no matter what you're going through, highs, lows, if you're in the grind, like the
hmm
Christmas season is just always like, ah, it's okay, it's Christmas time, right? So like
Yeah.
that leaving, I'm like back to the grind.
Yes.
No more distractions, back to the grind.
Yes, get right back to it. I don't know, it's kinda exciting too, though, because then it's like I know people focus on, like, their goals start of the year, and we try to rely heavily on, like, why wait for the start of the year to start something, but I also think, like, there's an energy to that as well, which is kinda cool that,
Yeah.
like, the holidays, even though they'll pass just as quickly as they come up on us, I feel like it's nice to kinda, like, have the energy of everybody and, like, "Okay, what are we gonna try this year? What's working? What's
Mhm.
not? What are we doing now?" You know? It's kind of
It's
exciting.
yeah, it's like a official restart for so many people, and
Mhm.
I'm one of those that I necessarily don't wait to the beginning of the year, but it is cool because people have so much hope and
Yeah.
dreams and ambitions at the beginning of the year. So I try to
Yes.
do my job to help push people through. So
Yeah.
um, most importantly, have you finished your Christmas shopping?
Yes, I have.
Uh,
I'm like,
okay, okay,
yes, still need to
yeah.
wrap a couple things, but the shopping is done. How about yourself?
Do you go all out for, like, your family or just like, "Hey, kids, get something," and, person here and there?
Yeah, not as much as I used to. This year's a little
Yeah.
quieter. It's, yeah, a little calmer. One side of the family, we do more of like a, I guess kinda like Secret Santa type of deal,
Mm,
which makes it
mhm.
easier because as everybody's gotten a little older, there's not as many kids, so it's like, if there's ever kids present, we take care of them, and then that way you only have to shop for, like, one other adult instead of
That's
trying to
true.
get everybody or know who's there, who's not, or whatever. But then the other side, yeah, I try to make sure, like, the kids have stuff and then, sprinkle it around.
Yeah, I, kept it simple this year. It's like kids get something, adults, you get a thank you card or, Merry Christmas card or just a
Yeah.
text, something, just keeping it simple. I feel like I used to
Yes.
get so stressed out trying to find gifts for everybody, and I'm just like, no, not anymore, not
Yeah.
anymore. Plus, I've probably given out so many free flights this year. Like Christmas came early for like a lot of my family, so
You're like,
yeah,
"You're
this.
welcome."
Yeah, you're welcome in advance. So there's
Yes.
that.
No,
All right,
for
so today, in the honor of Christmas season, we're going to talk
Mhm.
about quite a few things, all things holiday related. We're not going to necessarily reference as many videos as we generally do. We're just
Mhm.
going to, kind of bask in the Christmas glory and kind of do some reminiscing here. So I
Yeah.
figured let's start off with this. We're going to start off with our top five favorite Christmas movies.
Ooh,
Okay.
okay. I feel
All
like
right.
you're ready for that,
So
so you kick it off.
I'm going to kick it off but it's funny. You might think I'm ready. I'm really not. So
Really?
I'm going to just kind of go in no specific order unless I say like, hey, this is my favorite. But like,
Okay.
I'll kick it off. All right. So my favorite Christmas movie, which I watch every single year, is and I might not even watch it. They're just kind of on at this point. It's Home Alone
Yeah.
2. Home Alone 2 is number one.
Oh, the second
So
one.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And I think maybe that is why I've always kind of dreamed of like somewhat living in New York because he's like lost in New York, and I feel like there's just something to it. I know a lot
Yeah.
of people love the first one. The first one was a great too. It's probably in my top five as well.
Yeah.
Home Alone 2 is my favorite. primarily because I had the little Walkman that records and talks. I used to have that growing up, and I thought I was the man. Thought
Yes.
I was going to be in the CIA. But anyhow, Home Alone 2 was my number one.
Oh, wow.
I think my second one, it has to be Elf. I think Elf would probably be number two. Like, I
I like
think
Elf.
it's yeah, it's a classic. It's Will
It's just
Ferrell, like, he's
cute.
done so many things, but I think I will forever remember him in probably Ricky Bobby and Elf. Like, those are, like, the
Yes.
2 roles that, like, no matter what he does, like, I'll forever remember him in
Ricky
those
Bobby.
roles.
Thank you, sweet baby Jesus.
Sweet baby Jesus. Um, Next, I'm going to go probably the original Home Alone, it's probably in there too, as I
Okay.
mentioned. Um, Jingle All the Way. Jingle
Ooh,
All the Way, old school Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sinbad, Turbo
okay.
Man, the whole toy. Really love that movie.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, classic, classic, classic.
that's good.
And I'm gonna round it out with, I don't know, like, it's different now having, like, kids because now you watch all the kid stuff all the time now, like, you kind of forget
Yeah.
about. Um, I might, I can't think of one off the top. I'm probably gonna go Polar Express.
I feel like Polar Express is
I
a
I f
classic.
I feel like it's a classic. I feel like at some point I would love to see them redo it, especially with, like, the modern day technology and the graphics. I think
Yeah,
when it came out at the time, it was ahead of its time, but now, like, I think they can definitely redo it.
could
So,
be so much.
I think those would be my 5. I think those would be my top 5 as of right now.
Yeah. I feel like it's interesting hearing you're saying that, like, now with the kids, it might be a little different, like, what you watch or how you think of things, and I'm like, mine's probably some version of that where I'm like, well, as a kid, there was certain stuff you always watched, but
Yeah.
now I'm like, honestly, I'm not really watching a ton of it, like, I know the reference or I
Yeah.
might, watch it, but I'm not sitting down every year like, "Okay, we're watching all 5 of these," or anything
Oh,
like that, like,
I forgot about Four Christmases. That's funny too.
ooh,
With Reese
I
Witherspoon
like
and Vince
I like
Vaughn.
these ones. I
Yeah,
feel like
it's a good one.
I was surprised. Okay, so Elf would definitely be on my list. I
Okay.
think for me, it'd be the Santa Claus, like
Oh,
the
the
original,
original
like
with Tim
Tim
Allen?
Allen,
Yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah, I forgot
honestly,
about that one. Yeah.
I made a few
Yeah.
of them, and I don't know that I loved some of the others as much.
Yeah.
They were
When Charlie was old, it was different. I'm like, I like the baby Charlie?
yes, we were like, "Wait
Like,
a second, what happened?"
yeah.
But I feel like that's like a classic to me where I mean, I picture watching that like the VHS,
Yep.
of like
Mhm.
that was one of them. Um, I guess it's not a movie, but I always think I said it for Thanksgiving too, but like I have memories of seeing like all the like Charlie Browns,
Mhm.
like
Those
stuff
are
like
good, yep.
that, or watching, when Frosty the Snowman would come on,
Yep.
with,
Or
like
the
the
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, yeah.
yeah, but I
When
feel like
Rudolph's moving like this.
yes, and there's the bright nose. But I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know that I have necessarily too many others. I've watched different
Okay.
Christmas movies over the years, but I feel like I'm okay with the classics. Or every now and then, I was joking the other day. I'm like, I put on the cheesy rom coms in the background, just like where you're like, exactly what's gonna happen, but
Okay,
it's nice and lighthearted, and brings you
let
joy.
me let me throw some out there because are you a big Love Actually fan? That's kind of
Mm,
a rom-com-ish, Love Actually.
I don't know if I've seen Love Actually, honestly.
Okay, so if you that's the one, I mean, you probably haven't seen it, but if you've seen the reference, that's the one
Yeah.
where they hold up the sign and says, he's like, "Hey, this is my name's Casey." Then he takes it off. It's another sign. Like he's talking to her
Well,
through
they
like
do the
yeah, yeah. That's
yes.
that's where that came from. Sorry. Die Hards never really was my thing, but
I don't know
maybe.
that people are gonna hate on this, I already know, but I'm like, I don't even think I've ever seen Die Hard.
Oh man, you don't. Okay.
Like, I hear the
Uh,
references enough to know, like,
uh,
probably bits and pieces, but I don't think I ever watched it.
Edward Scissorhands. I guess that's kind of out there
That's a
too.
that's
Oh,
a
Miracle on 34th Street. Did you ever see that one?
yeah, we watched that
That's
a lot
cute.
as a kid.
Yeah, that's cute growing up.
Mhm.
Bad Santa. That was actually really funny growing up.
Oh my
That was
gosh,
more
it's
like high
terrible.
schoolish.
Yeah.
And they've done a couple of these with the Grinch. The Grinch is kind of always up there
Oh,
too.
that's true. I should've brought that one up, yeah.
Yeah, that's
The
always kind of
Grinch,
neat too.
I feel like that's a classic one, either the original or the ones that
The
have been made
cartoon ones, yeah.
recently. Yeah. Or
Yeah.
the ones they
Not
did a newer one, well, it's not new now, but, like, I feel like newer than the original, I would
yeah,
say, when we were
you know what,
kids.
I feel like, because 'cause I'm looking through some of these right now, I feel like there's usually a new Christmas movie comes out, every year, every couple of years, but I
Yeah.
feel like we're due for a classic, though. Like, we
Yes.
haven't had a good classic in a long time, like Elf, like, that was a classic, like, this
Yes.
I feel like this generation, we're kinda needing a classic right now, and I feel like they're either trying to make these movies too funny, or they're trying to make Santa be like a assassin, like, there's so many different things now.
Too
I feel
many
like
different.
we just need a good old-fashioned,
I don't know if it's
classic.
classic, but I know some family watched this new one that came out this year. It was like Red One, and they
Red
absolutely
One,
loved it.
they
So,
loved it?
yeah, they loved it. They
Okay, that's the one with The Rock and, Chris
yeah.
Evans.
So I don't know
Okay, I
what
heard
take that one took on it, so
okay,
not
I'm
sure
about to
that's a
check that out.
classic, but it might be worth checking out.
Okay, I might put that on my to-do list for next year.
Yeah.
Alright, let's move on from movies because I feel like I always kinda tie Christmas to movies.
Mhm.
Um, do you have a go-to Christmas song? Like, is
Mm.
there one? Because I was thinking about this
I
earlier.
feel like Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas" is, like, all that's playing all the time. I'll sing it every time it
Yeah,
comes
right,
on.
yeah. Yep. Yeah, so I know we talked about that briefly,
Yeah.
but let's
You have a
let's let's hit
go-to
on that for a
Christmas
second.
song?
We'll come back to the song. Let's hit on Mariah's real quick.
Oh, goodness. Yes.
So Mariah Carey, as we most people should know, is probably one of the top pop musical artists of all time.
Mhm.
Probably was really big in my early childhood. I think,
Yeah.
early 2000s, she kind of had a nice little, I don't want to say
Mhm.
comeback, but resurgence per se.
Yeah.
But this modern generation, they probably don't know too much about Mariah.
It's
But
true.
we know she gets paid every year for one song.
Yes.
And I'd be curious to know how much she makes every year just doing
Yeah.
either shows, commercials, this, that, and the other. Would you rather, so tell me this, would you rather have a one-hit wonder per se, like, she's not a one-hit wonder, but would you rather
No.
be a one-hit wonder and have this one annual Christmas song that
Oof.
comes on every year, or would you rather be busy over the course of the year, maybe a little bit more popular? What would you rather have?
I'd probably be okay being a one-hit wonder.
I agree. I
I'm
agree.
I
I
don't know,
agree.
I think both are successful in their own rights, you know?
Right.
Like, I think about that too, like, to your point, the fact that and we were discussing this a little bit too, of just, even from, like, a life or, like, a business stance, regardless of your opinions of her music or her or whatever, you know, you may not necessarily care for it, and that's okay, but we were just talking about how, if you figure I would say the name is known, but, like, she's not putting out new albums every year, like, like, you see her on concerts, but it's, like, stuff like that where, like, they're going to see her for the Christmas stuff, or you're going people that, like, we knew her from the 2000s or things like that, like, it's not a like, I wouldn't say she's as, like, current or big right now, and the fact is, I'm like, if that's your, like, retirement, like, you're no
That's her
longer
mailbox.
yeah, like, you're
Mhm.
no longer actively trying to produce or perform, but you just do it because you're like I mean, I'm sure she enjoys it to an extent. If you've done it this long, hopefully you enjoy it. But it's like, to your point, it's like if I stopped everything, okay, I don't go on tour anymore, I don't make any new music. Like the fact is, we already know every year. No,
Mhm.
it might drive her crazy. She probably doesn't listen to the radio, but like, but I mean, if we think about it,
Yeah.
every commercial, radio station,
Mhm.
movie, there's gonna be cameos, like, the fact is, like, that's gonna be residual forever,
That
love it or
that's
not.
mailbox that is mailbox money for the rest of her life.
That's
So look
wild.
at listen to this. When she released the song in 1994, I'm not even gonna tell you how old I was. I don't even know if you were born yet, Evita.
I
Um,
I
and
was technically alive, yes.
look at when she released it in 1994, she made $60 million off of that. You know how
Wow,
much money that was in 1990 to make sixty
that's a
million in
lot.
1994, that's probably equivalent to, like, I don't know, 90 to 120 million nowadays, right? Like,
Yeah.
so she
Holy
made 60
cow.
just off that. Now she makes 2.5 mil every year off royalties just from the song. Not
That's
to mention if she performs at, the Christmas parade or, something like
yeah,
that, Ryan Seacrest.
you know she
So
does.
she probably makes upwards of like probably 5 mil a year. And she just, she doesn't do anything the rest of the year.
Right.
I'm I'm good with that lifestyle.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, that's incredible, and I also think that shares a lot too about what she's built,
Yeah.
like, she has the
Yeah.
voice, she's created the brand, and now
Yep.
that just whatever, she hit the one that became a classic, and yeah, it just took off. Holy cow.
Okay, so I think that's the most popular song. But do you have a song that you like, a go-to Christmas song?
I have songs that I like, I always like the Carol of the Bells,
Mm.
songs like that, but, I mean, I'm okay with Christmas music in general. I go through phases.
Yeah, I mean, let me see. This would probably be. Let me try to find it.
Do you have go-to Christmas songs?
I do. I mean, I listen to all of them for sure.
Yeah.
But this one, I feel like I don't know if it's just like the vibe. This one's kind of smooth to me. So we're gonna go this one.
Oh, that's classic.
Yeah, this one every time. This is my cooking song. This is my
There
cleaning
you
song.
go. Yes.
I'm not gonna play it too long because I don't want to get banned.
Give me credit. It's not ours. We're not claiming it's it.
All right, cut it. Let me stop. No, no bans, no bans. But yeah, that's probably my go-to. I'd say that's my go-to Christmas song.
That's a good one.
So,
Yeah. I'm like, I agree with you. If I listen to Christmas music, it's usually I feel like because a lot of them it can spark different things. Like some of them are new family, some of them are more upbeat, some of them are more just classic, you know.
so we have the movie on TV. We got the
Mhm.
music on in the background. We got the presents either unwrapped or wrapped. Now we
Ooh.
got to eat. Now we have to eat.
Yes.
So, do you have a go-to Christmas meal?
Oh man. We already literally had one dinner last night. I was so stinking stuffed. I
What'd you
felt
have?
like I was gonna pop. Like I
Do you
was
guys
like,
have like Mexican food?
no,
Like
no, that's the
tamales
other
or
side
something?
of the family. Yeah, so other side of the family. But we had oh my god, we had a feast. We had ribs last night, so we had homemade rolls, we had ribs, we had sweet potato, mashed potatoes,
Yo, I
there
need
was
a
a homemade
plate.
soup, there was we had all kinds of fun, like, appetizers.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I mean, the appetizers alone felt like it could've been the meal, but that's how it goes
Yeah,
over there. So, yeah, there
yeah,
was, um yeah, we had all kinds of desserts and stuff. It was delicious, but I'm so freaking full. It's nice to wake
yeah.
up today and be like, "Oh, I'm grateful for all the food, but I'm space
It's
again. Went for a
it's
nice
like
long walk this morning."
yeah, it's like I'm gonna start my fast now.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh my god, right. First of the
you
year,
know
right?
what? Christmas dinner is like actually the one like there's no clear cut meal, and I feel like that needs to
Mm,
change. I feel like for my kids' childhood, I want to change that to where like
interesting.
Christmas dinner is like this. We know it every single year, so
Could there
that's
be
something gotta.
other things that, like, are maybe more traditional? Like, is there anything with Christmas dinner, like, same house or same style or things like same people, something like that, that kind of would also maybe trigger that same emotion
Not
with
s-
the kids so they can
not
remember?
s- Not so much anymore.
Okay,
Especially being out here in Texas now, like the whole
it's
family's
different.
still in California.
Yeah.
And all my family used to get together at nighttime. We used to do like the gift exchange and whatnot. So we did that for like the
Okay.
first 20 plus years of my life. And then
Yeah.
family members got older, started getting mad about the gifts. And you know how it is. They just kind of, the next
Turns
thing you know,
a
it
little
gets
bit,
canceled.
huh?
Yeah, it's like,
The
hey,
older we get, it's
this
interesting
this
noticing all
person,
that.
yeah, this person got this and I got this. I'm like, you know what? Like, who cares, man? So like, it
Yeah,
just turned into something that it should have been, and it kind of messed it up for everybody. So
bummer. Well, that's fair.
yeah,
That could
so
be exciting, though. You could test
yeah,
things out too. I mean,
yeah. I think starting maybe not. Yeah, starting next year, I want to get back to the whole family thing. So I'm gonna try to round
yeah.
up the troops and get back to that.
That'll be fun. I mean, I feel like whatever you create, like, the fact that they're even with you guys is probably a
Yeah,
good memory that like, I was thinking that this morning just reflecting, and it's like, the older we get, the more you kind of to that point, sometimes it's not always the most positive things you recognize, but then also being like, oh man, like thinking about what your parents did to, stay up late and get everything ready, and,
Yeah,
stuff that
man,
even as
Davina,
a kid, you're like, what's the big
yo,
deal? And then it's like, God, how ungrateful was that? You don't even think
oh,
about it.
sorry, lost my camera. 1 second.
You're okay. You're back.
Okay, how to get the good camera.
Yeah.
Um, yo, so like honestly, being on the other side now, like last year, staying up late and I'm like, yo, this is not cool. Like I need to like
This is not fun.
like I need my sleep because they still get up early, and the later I go to sleep, it doesn't change like how early they get up.
Yes.
So
Well,
yeah,
and I think
it's
about that too, like, obviously from the other end, but, like, as kids, I'm like, we didn't think about how late they were. If anything,
no,
you were given I don't know how it was in your house, but, like, we were given a time of, like, you can be up earlier, but do not wake us up
don't
until
wake us up. Yep,
whatever,
eight
and even
o'clock, 7.
still thinking back on it, like, that was I mean, there was times we were up at, like you were basically peeking just to see, like, when are the presents there, and then it's like,
Mhm.
"Can we open them now?" And it's like,
Yo,
"No, okay, wait for them to get
yo,
up," and in hindsight, I'm like, "Oh my god, no, it's a
they're
wonder
just
they're
some,
here."
there's just something about that, like that that joy walking out to the living room and seeing like there's just something about it, man,
Yes.
and no matter how what might be going on, like personally, like when you're able to see that, like the joy in others, like that's
Yeah,
just an amazing feeling, such an amazing feeling. So,
um,
but let's talk about that because I want to spend some time. We're gonna compare and contrast Home Alone and Elf. We're gonna talk about that in a little bit, but
okay.
I want to just talk about Christmas memories in general.
Yeah.
Do you have, like what are some like your favorite memories growing up for Christmas? Like what sparks that joy to you for Christmas?
I think it shifted more to the experiences and the
Okay.
people than it is the gifts.
Okay.
To your point when you're a kid, like, we did probably well, not probably, we definitely did more per se in the same span than I do now, but I feel like some of the things have still remained the same, still same traditions, but I feel like, yeah, am I waking up in the morning presents? No, there's not that magic, but, trying to remember to be grateful for, like, I was just thinking, when we walk into the house and it's like you have the warmth of, like, obviously I'm talking about, like, food is not a problem in our family. So, like, walking in and obviously like the ovens are on or the stove is on or just all the people that are there. And, now sometimes like kids are running around or whatever. And just, I feel like I'm more appreciative for those things that kind of offer different memories, or you walk in the house and it's like, different families, different style, right? So obviously we talked about I'm half Mexican. So like their certain memories are going to be different than the other side of the family, but we've still kept quite a few traditions going. And I feel like that's really special.
No, that's awesome. No,
Yeah.
that's awesome. And I think I feel like the traditions are the most important thing,
Hmm.
and I think that like, I had to remind myself the other day and remind my kids
Yeah.
what is Christmas. Like, hey, don't forget this is the birth of baby Jesus, right? Like I had to make sure my
Yeah.
kids know, like, yes, Santa Claus, but this
Not just
is,
Santa and presents.
yeah, this is baby Jesus's birthday,
Yeah.
so making sure that I share that with them.
Yeah.
But it's the traditions, and now's the time because they're a little bit younger to kind of experiment of how we kind of want to operate and do certain things. But
Yeah.
I want the traditions to be instilled in my kiddos to the point to where like they know what to expect every year.
Yeah.
We go see lights. We'll go to Christmas caroling. We'll adopt a family to donate to, like, and give presents to. Like those are the kind of things I feel like
Yeah.
leave a legacy. Like for someone who's lost a parent, like I remember specific Christmas things with my mom. Like that's the legacy that she was able to leave for me, right? And it'll be the same thing with my dad too. So
Mm.
that's what I'm trying to do. Yeah, that's the goal. So
Yeah. I think that's
and
incredibly important because I think too, I mean, I share it in the business side of like it's about people, like people take care of people and things are gonna come and go, be good or bad or whatever. But I feel like that's kind of with the holiday season too, where it's like people are gonna have rough years. Things
for
are gonna
sure,
change. And I feel like if we're able to focus on even if your tradition's a little different, or like you said, like, okay, it's different. what can we create ourselves then? Or what can we do? Maybe some lights, it's like some years you're going all out and you do the lights and the presents and all the things. Maybe some years that's just like, we're having a nice dinner at home, but I feel like
Mm-hmm.
when you find ways, like you said, to either give back or spend time together and things like that, like that doesn't have to take that much money. That doesn't have to take, trips or things like that. Like if you can go visit family out of state, perfect. But if not, it's like remembering, to your point, hey, this isn't about, you don't have to go into debt to get presents for everybody. Like, can you
Mm,
do a card? Can you do, and if they don't understand that, well, then, you know, I feel like sometimes as difficult as it is, I have to remember, like, I have a pretty good relationship with most of my family. And I'm very grateful for that, because sometimes I also realize for others, we joke about people are going to butt heads and things like that's one thing.
yeah,
But just
yeah,
for some people, that's even going, you know what? We might not be visiting certain people this year because that's
yeah.
just going to drain us. And, figuring out what that is so you can find peace and just make the most of it.
No, absolutely. You said a good word, experiences. Experiences are everything, especially this
Yeah,
time of year. Especially
absolutely.
this time of year.
It's like
All right,
remembering.
so let's do a little something. So I think we pulled up two episodes for two movies, Elf
Mhm.
and Home Alone. So we
Yes.
don't have to get into specifics, but I want to talk about characteristics of each.
Mm,
So my question for you: what makes a good Christmas movie? Because these are two classics. These are two that generation to generation, like will kids and families will continue to watch. Why
yeah,
is that? What makes a good Christmas movie?
that's a good question. I guess I haven't put too much thought into it, but off the top of my head, I think obviously both of them are going to have some sort of entertaining element. I would
Mm,
imagine to keep it a classic, it's probably going to be something that is relatable to different generations or different age groups, at least, of something that, like we're even talking about stuff that, oh, we can sit and watch it and probably kids could enjoy it today, but also you might remember watching it as a kid, or maybe there's a couple
mhm.
little elements snuck into there that you're like, oh my gosh, totally relate to that, or something that makes you laugh or something like that. I feel like, and then I feel like generally there's some sort of um maybe overall message or underlying message mixed in there too, kind of the things we're talking about, of is there something,
Mm.
about family or a lesson or something kind of in there that makes it um something that you want to revisit.
No, I'm aligned. I think relatability is one.
Yeah.
I think there's a level of there's always the underlining message, and it's usually like love conquers all, or
Yeah.
something like that. Um, but there's always, and this is where we're going to transition. There's always like memorable scenes, right?
Yes.
Where were you when you first watched this scene? So
Mm,
like let's talk about Elf first.
yeah.
What is one of your favorite scenes of that movie?
I love it when he's in the store and Santa's coming.
Oh man, the Santa! Like,
I feel like
yo,
they did
loses it.
a gif on that, and I use that freaking all the time.
Yo,
I
he
love it.
loses it, and it's funny
Yes.
because what's it? Face on Love, the big guy. You could
Mhm.
tell. I wonder how many times he almost broke character, right? Because you got to think that's another
Right?
man in your face yelling Santa, like
Like,
how like
"Santa's here."
to to keep it under control is so funny. That's a
Yes.
great scene. I love the scene when he's at when he's in the factory and they're dancing. When he's dancing, they're like,
Yes.
"Hey,
Mailroom.
hey, hey!"
Yeah.
Sorry, the mailroom. Yeah, the mailroom. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
that's one of my favorite scenes.
Oh my god,
Um,
I love it.
and then also when Peter Dinklage,
Yes.
um, when he's like, "Call
Yes.
call me Elf one more time."
And yeah, and he comes
He's
across the
like,
table.
he comes across and like whoops his behind like that. Those are
Mhm.
like some of the funniest ones to me. So,
Oh my
um,
gosh.
all right, what
Yes.
about? I guess we're in this situation. We're talking about Home Alone one. So,
Yeah.
what Home Alone one? What are some of your favorite scenes?
It's funny, I'm like, this actually had forced me to kind of remember it because I haven't watched Home Alone
Mm,
super recently. I've probably
okay.
watched Elf a little bit more recently, but I think, I was watching even some of the clips, it sparks kind of some of those scenes. And I feel like, well, one, I think just in general, like every kid remembers you want to be like Home Alone, right? So
Oh
there's like
yeah,
the fun side of it. But then I
yeah.
also love when he's like, he uses the clip of like the gangsters to scare
Mhm.
him.
Yeah.
And it's
That's
like,
yep.
oh, that's so
Classic.
clever. Cause now there's like that other side of it where all of a sudden you're like, shoot, I'm home alone. like
It's so funny because like
for
and
that.
and watching it now, it's not like quote unquote hilarious like it was when I was a kid. But it's
Yeah.
still like it still fills the soul, right? And I feel
Yeah.
like part of that is because the memories of watching it. You know, it's not
Yeah.
necessarily like the actual movie. It's like I'm sitting on the couch with my mom and dad and we're watching them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like they're watching the movie and I'm laughing. You know, I feel like it almost supersedes what actually reality probably was. It was probably
Mm.
just chilling and they just put it on. They probably doing doing chores and stuff.
You're
You
like,
know,
yes,
like
watch this.
but there's something about it that probably fulfills that. So
Mhm.
I think there's that aspect to it, and then two,
Interesting.
it's I think I mean there's so many parts of it. Probably when he grabs the tarantula and he puts it on his
Oh
chest and
man.
he whacks him with it and like that
Oof.
that's just one of my favorite parts. Even
Yeah.
though it's such a small part, but yeah.
No, it
So
was memorable though. I thought it was interesting when we were kind of glancing at like fun facts or things you might not know about it. I thought it was interesting that they were actually going to try to use a fake tarantula, and then they realized like, no, that's not going to work. So they used a
yeah,
real one, and I'm like, no wonder he was freaking out.
I'll
I'd
be
be
freaking out
freaking out
too.
too. Like, heck no, that's a
I'll
one
be
take. We're not doing this again.
yo, and it's crazy to think that movie was filmed in the gym. Like the majority
Yes,
of the movie was filmed
yeah,
in a gym, like I think it's a high
in
school gym,
school.
and that's so
Yeah.
cool to me. Like
In
and the
Chicago,
how
I think, right?
yep, and I think the houses I think still for well back on sale now. I saw somebody saw like the article on it the other day. It's like the
Yeah.
original Home Alone house. So, but it's funny like it's part of pop culture now because like even like we'll go see lights in like different neighborhoods. And like I'll see
Mhm.
a house and be like, oh, that looks like the Home
And they
Alone
make
house, you
it.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like it's just part of the culture and it's part of society now. And
Yes.
talk about royalties. Macaulay Culkin, he probably makes crazy royalties every year too. Let me look that
It's
up real
wild.
fast.
I wonder how that is too. Like we were talking about, with Mariah, like would you want a one-hit wonder or to be known for, you're working year round? And I feel like I wonder how that's been for him trying to you have such a big role at such a young age. Like for better or worse, this is what you're known as to everybody.
Think about it. He made 110,000 for that movie.
Wow.
$110,000, which is, I mean, still good money, right?
Yeah.
Um, but now he makes, let's see, royalties. Oh, whoa, hold on. He doesn't make any royalties from Home Alone. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. There's no way.
Really?
There's
I mean,
no way.
potentially, maybe when they negotiated, because I don't think they never expected it to be as big as it is.
Yo,
'Cause I
there's
know
no
that.
way.
Can you imagine?
He made 4.5 for Home Alone 2.
Wow,
What?
that's interesting.
Wow.
I would have thought for sure he gets royalties.
Yo, if that's the
Now
case.
this is what. Now we get why people like Mr. Wonderful are out here going for
Mm.
the royalties. We'll always remember.
Man, yeah, seriously, like that's if he doesn't
In.
make because this is on Disney every year, right? So like, ooh,
Yeah.
interesting. Um,
Huh.
oh, Macaulay earned extra 18 million after inserting special clauses into. Okay, so
He's a little
he made a
investor.
nice little chunk afterwards.
He's
Okay,
okay. He's okay, you guys. Don't worry about
I
it.
mean, I don't even know what he did after that, right? Because it was My Girl before.
I know. I think he's married to Brenda Song now.
To who?
For anybody who watched Disney,
Who's that?
she was on Disney Channel for a minute.
Let me see. Hold on. Now I'm curious. Let me.
Yeah.
His spouse. Oh, his spouse was Rachel Miner,
She was in a few things
and
around that time.
who'd you say he's married to now?
Brenda Song.
Oh, Brenda Song. Okay, I see.
Mhm.
Oh, I know. I've seen her.
You've seen her, yeah.
Yeah, she's in. What have I seen her in?
I feel like she was in a few things.
Yeah, she has been in a few things. I'm trying to think what I would know her from the most. Um,
I feel like she
New
was in like
Girl.
what was it? Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
Yeah, the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody for
Oh,
sure.
she was
I
in
feel like,
like Mike.
but she, I don't even remember that movie that much. I remember, but I don't
You
remember. I
ever watch
wouldn't
that?
remember.
Make me like Mike.
Yeah, I remember. Okay, so this is okay. That's cool though. That's what's up.
Yeah. So now they're just
Uh,
doing life.
Doing life. That's yeah, because he's only got like to me, he's always just Kevin Callister. Like I don't even know what he did after that. He did.
Did he do much after that? Is the
I'm
question.
I'm looking
He
through
might have
discography.
been like, I'm good.
I would be good too. Like he made literally one of the most popular movies ever. Yeah, I think I'm good too.
We'll see.
Let's see.
He was
Sorry
making
guys.
some stuff.
Anyone that's listening to this, we gotta look this up real quick because now I want to know. I mean, his brother's a good actor.
I would say he was in some stuff, but it doesn't
His
seem like
brother
he's done like maybe a ton.
looks like he's done some like voiceovers or like little appearances, but like nothing. Yeah,
This is
nothing
okay.
like. Yeah, his brother's a pretty good actor for sure. I think he won some awards for what's it called? My gosh, HBO,
Oh,
Succession,
oh,
which is a great show. If you never watched that show, it's a
that's
great show.
interesting. Succession.
So
Nice.
okay, well, don't want to take up too much of people's time. Did we not cover anything? We cover everything. We covered food. We covered movies. We covered memories.
Yeah.
We covered songs. Um, I think we hit on all the topics, Vita.
Yeah. Just keeping it light, keeping it easy. It's the
Yeah, just
holidays.
love talking Christmas. Next episode we'll probably start talking about New Year's resolutions and
Right? Everyone's
all the
favorite.
fun stuff, all the fun stuff that comes along with that. So
Yes. No, it'll be
cool.
good. I'm like,
Well, we
enjoy the
appreciate anybody
holidays.
that's listening. On behalf of myself, Vita, Merry
Yeah,
Christmas to all, and we'll talk soon.
absolutely. Remember to enjoy the holidays.
Enjoy, keyword, right? Enjoy.
Yes, relax.
Later.